Hello, all of you beautiful starseed souls out there watching this video. Welcome back to Starseed Academy. My name is Jenny. So in truth, I really don't know what kind of response this video is going to create within you, to create within your heart, your mind, or your energy. I feel that this could very likely trigger a lot of people. And then I feel like a lot of people are really needing to hear this message and are ready to hear this message. But regardless of the impact of the reactive energy that comes from putting this out there, I really do not feel truly that I cannot keep this to myself. This experience that I'm going to share with you is it's overwhelming. Like, it's so huge. I'm honestly in awe of this information, of this experience, and it wouldn't feel right to keep it to myself. Like, it just wouldn't feel right. So I'm just sending a prayer out there that everyone that comes across this video can watch this with like an open heart and an open mind, and really know that I have no ulterior kinds of motives or anything like that. If you've been following along on my channel, you know that I'm a genuine spirit, and I always report it just like it is. And that's what I'm doing here today. So what happened was I was actually doing a reading for a client. And when I got to the part in the reading where I channel like a message from their guides, I do so in a very detailed way, describing the way that the guide looks, their name, their mannerisms, and then the channeled message follows that. So I had this guide come forward for a client, and it was a reptilian. And that hadn't happened to me before in this kind of setting, like when I'm actually reaching out to the guides that are for the highest good of the client. So obviously only beings of high vibrations, beings of the light, would be able to enter into this space. And here was this reptilian. And if I'm being real with you, I was a little shook by the visual. But I felt the intention and the heart of this being. And she was actually really hesitant in her energy to even come forward too quickly, asking a lot of permission, probably feeling the alarm within me, and also knowing that maybe it wouldn't be the easiest thing for the client to accept either. And so there was a lot of hesitation there. But after feeling the truth, the energy, the intention, the heart, I encouraged this being to come forward. Now, her name is Tahani, and she appears like a cross between a lizard and a velociraptor, if you can in your mind put those two things together. And the skin is a light brown color. And she had a very gentle, soft, almost timid energy. Like I said, pretty hesitant about, coming on too strong. And, with my encouragement, she came forward. She was able to deliver this message for the client that was really important, actually, for them. It really felt like the right message for the reading, because I was already quite a ways into the reading, and it really fit well with a lot of the energy that I was feeling. So I really trusted in that. But even though I had dissolved that connection and ended that session, I couldn't get this being out of my mind. I had this feeling like there was more there for me, like a message for me. And it was almost it really stayed with me, and it was almost like a burning feeling in my chest, in my heart, like there was something there that I was supposed to get, like a message that I needed. I couldn't shake that feeling. It stayed with me for hours. And so finally I sat down in meditation and I asked her to come back, and she came back with the same energy, very gentle, timid, and hesitant at the beginning until we got talking. And I really appreciated that. But then she kind of explained why. She came through with this huge fucking message, like huge, mind-blowing, unbelievable information. And it made me think, how have I never done this before or asked for this information before? I know that I can ask, any being of the universe and channel and have all these amazing, powerful gifts at my disposal. How has this information not come across my path before? Because it was so intense and so important and rang so true, like so clearly true. So what I have for you today is a channeled message straight from Tahani, who is a member of the Reptilian Council of Light. So there is a council for most species, like there's the Avian Council, there's the Council of Humanity, there's all of these councils, and the reptilians have one too. And they call themselves the Reptilian Council of Light to set themselves apart from maybe their darker counterparts. And these beautiful beings, these souls, are so strong, and they literally have so much that they are dealing with right now. And I just want to give you a taste of that and set up this information for you. So before I read like the channeled message, which I wrote down exactly, like she kind of stood over my shoulder and helped me write down exactly what she wanted to say. And I actually think of it more like a statement than a message, because when we were talking, after I kind of got an understanding of what was going on with them and her and how she was feeling, I asked if she wanted to make a statement. I kind of felt like a reporter in that moment, and she did. And after some thought, she gave it to me and we got it all written out. So I'm going to read it to you like exactly as it came through so that you have the exact tone and the feeling and everything. And then you can judge for yourself how you feel. And that is your right and your sacred duty to use your discernment. But just before I get to reading the statement, I just want to set up the situation for you and just give you a few of the points that we talked about before I got the statement. So the first thing that she shared with me was that things are not easy for her right now. And she was really honest, and I really felt like the pain in her heart. Just because of what she is, she feels like she constantly has to prove herself, explain herself, and come with an energy of this extreme hesitation and humility just for people to even entertain her presence. And I really felt that because of the species that she is a part of, she's being judged, right? So the example that she shared with me was like, imagine if humanity had the ability for space travel. Okay, so then this group of humans, this smaller group in comparison to how many there are, but this group of humans decides that they're going to get together with their own intentions and agendas, get on this spacecraft, travel to another planet, and just wreak havoc. Okay, so I don't even know what kind of beings would do that. Maybe this would be like the Antifa members who liked to do all the rioting and hurting people and just darkness. But imagine if that happened. Imagine if that group of people went onto another planet and acted like that. How would that planet view humanity? They would totally, and have every right to, use this group as the example for the entire race of humanity, the entire species of humanity. And is that fair? Well, no, that's not fair. Here we all are back on our home planet doing the absolute best that we can to raise the vibrations of our planet, the universe, bring in the light, doing all of this powerful work. And this group kind of like ruined the reputation, for lack of a better term. So imagine being a reptilian right now. A reptilian of the light, a high vibrational being, truly. A light worker, a starseed, a soul. Just imagine what that would be like. So I want to set that up so that you can have even just an iota of understanding. If you're not at this, like at a place of compassion, that's okay. It's certainly understandable. But if you could have like an open mind to that, So then the next information that she shared with me is that there are souls right now. So not in an incarnation, not human, not reptilian, just souls, okay? So there are these souls who are really old, beautiful, ancient, wise souls. Incredibly intelligent, have lived so many lifetimes, serving on these councils in these, Galactic Federation of Light, even some of them even, in the high realms, beyond angelic, like these unbelievable souls. These souls are choosing right now to incarnate as reptilian beings, to balance out the collective energy of that species. They saw a need, a universal need, and they volunteered. Does that remind you of anyone? Us. We were these high vibrational souls, and we saw humanity, and we volunteered. There are souls just like you and me in every species, but in the reptilian species, in that race, who are there to raise the vibration, right? Like every species has its own collective consciousness. Humanity has a collective consciousness. We know this. We talk about this all the time. Reptilians have a collective energy between them because they're so connected. Avian beings have there's all these collectives, and what one does affects the collective, bad or good, if you want to be, if you want to judge it as bad or good, light or shadow, when really it's wholeness. Truly what we are doing is, as the starseed souls, is bringing balance back to humanity. It's not about wiping out the darkness, it's balance. That's what's key. And here these souls are doing that. Souls like Tahani, doing that for the reptilians. Next point. This is just so mind-blowing. The hatred right now being created due to the war, clash, whatever you want to call it, going on between the reptilians on Earth and on Earth, and humans and the free will, that clash and war of free will, control, all of that, is creating an energy of hate equal to that of a genocide. When one species, humans, hates another so much and spreads that hatred and that propaganda throughout the internet, throughout, I don't like to say conspiracy theories, because they're not theories, they're quite often facts, but let's, for lack of a better term, conspiracies, spreading the energy through the conspiracy community, spreading this energy now through the spiritual community. That level of hatred, genocidal. I didn't want to believe that, but really when I think back, when I feel it out, I feel that. It's instant judgment on an entire species because of the actions of a group. So here's this. Was that the plan? Because they don't care if they're hated. There are a lot of theories that they are trying to hide behind people and organizations and that. Really? Do you think so? Maybe not. Maybe they leak just the right amount of what they're doing to create the hatred, which gets spread like wildfire and creates the belief in the need for a war. Light versus dark. We must, stop the evil. We must eradicate them, get them off of this planet, expose them. Hatred. Do you know the last time in human history that we had that kind of genocidal hatred? I think you do. It was towards another group of humans. This happens. A lot of the time there's a religious reason behind it. A lot of the time it's political power. And before you know it, an entire nation is wiped out. Do you know the amount of damage that kind of hatred and thinking and propaganda can create, is creating? What does that do to our collective consciousness of humanity? Don't worry about the reptilians right now. Worry about ours now as humanity. Our jobs as Starseeds and Lightworkers are to raise the vibration of the collective. We can raise our own vibration to the tippy tops and have these wonderful lives on these beautiful timelines. But there is a collective consciousness of humanity, and that runs the main timeline. The reality that we all have to work with, even though we're very blessed as Starseeds and Lightworkers to be able to create offshoots in our own, abundant worlds. But the main timeline, that is created by the collective consciousness. And so if you insert this level of hatred and the belief for the need of a war, then you lower the collective, even if they had finally, reached neutral, back down we come into fear, into anger, into rage. There's so much anger and rage. They want the focus on anger, fear, duality. That's where they want you to be focusing. How good of a job they have done. Because by just leaking little bits of information, people feel like they've dug up these deep, dark secrets that they blast. It just has such an eerie feeling and so reminiscent of what Hitler and the Nazi regime did to minorities. Don't you feel it? This is why souls like Tahani need to be heard. There is more to the story. You deserve the full truth. And so I'd like to read her statement now. So this statement is from Tahani, a beautiful female being of the reptilian race, also a member of the Reptilian Council of Light. And she said, "I am just one humble soul doing my part, and I didn't even originally relate to the situation of the reptilians. I was more focused on the energetic balance that was needed to bring in light, love, compassion, goodwill, and service to others to balance out the service to self and intense greed that was present. But now this mission feels much more personal because I see that there is so much good being overlooked. Once again, humanity has chosen to focus on only the aspects that broadcast fear, anger, and hatred. Yet there has also always been within the reptilian race ancient wisdom, loyalty, love, friendship, a desire to serve, and light. It's all in what you choose to see. I am not here to downplay the negative, covert, and forceful shadow aspects of some of our people. In fact, I have dedicated my life to bringing that darkness back into balance. I'm so sorry that you, humanity, have been pulled into the drama of the unnatural greed. I cannot understand or condone any of this. I can only try to help. Please understand how difficult this is. There are no winners. Please help me. by shining your light of compassion. Only the truth of oneness, in its highest vibration of Christ consciousness, can truly heal this rift. A war is not the answer. Adding more hatred to the fire burns us all. I love you. We stand with you. If any of you, and I know a lot of you, have seen my video, My Life on Orion, then you know that this is incredibly difficult for me and very emotional because I've been through this already. I've already been through a reptilian war and fighting back with matching anger, force, hatred, matching that energy. It decimated our entire planet. I don't want to go through that again. There is a higher path with an alternate outcome. Can you see it yet? Please don't come for me. Don't at me over this. I'm just doing my best to share exactly what was sent to me because it rings true. I feel the truth. And if any part of this message, like if you felt it, then please share it. You're helping so much in the war for our attention and where it goes. That's precious. The vibrational level of the collective consciousness is what creates the outcome. We know that everything starts within. And so to try to battle back against something with the equal opposing force creates more of that thing. There's this higher timeline available right now. And the people that are talking about Christ consciousness and compassion for all beings, not just the ones that we judge to be good beings, spiritual beings. No, it's all or nothing. It's got to be all of the beings. Don't fall into this trap of duality. I've already seen how that plays out. Please share this video. And before you go, please subscribe because it's very encouraging to me and very supportive. And I'll show up for you every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday. So before we go, of course, your daily reminder, listen to your heart and the quiet voice within. Because you are so much more than the body you're in. Have a great day. Bye.